Hello? Come on now, chop chop, this isn't the telly. Choose something you'd like to talk about. Why do you think I became an actress? Well, I'd say that was a complete load of nonsense. I didn't become an actress because of my love of the classics and Shakespeare. I mean, I absolutely knew nothing about the classics or Shakespeare. In fact, well, Macbeth I knew a little bit about from school. But it wasn't that. It was probably kitchen sink drama on television which first made me think, I can do that. And I want to do that. And I was fascinated by the job of acting and of putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And I think I think it comes from just loads of things. I don't think there's any simple question. I don't think there's any simple answer as to. Oh God, I am so talking rubbish. Shall I start again? For a bit more information, click on to the other one, the other answer. All right, go on, go on. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Absolutely, it was complex, and there were lots of reasons. It's never that simple, is it? I mean, I always used to think that it was to do with the fact that I didn't feel good enough in life. And I think that that's a human thing that people often don't. And I think it was partly that. And I think that I felt that the answer to life and how you should be was in other people. And I wanted to be them rather than myself. I think it began partly in that. I think it also is genetic, although I haven't got grandparents or great-grandparents or anything like that who were actors. There was a desire to be in my family, to do that kind of thing. My grandfather used to recite great and famous court cases. Apparently, I don't think he got much of an audience, but that's the kind of thing he did. And my uncle directed plays, amateur plays and things like that. So it's in the family. And my mother had a great sense of the dramatic, you know, and my father had a great sense of humour. And I think it's all to do with that. And but also, I think it's also about wanting to know the truth. And first of all, in yourself, wanting to know who you actually are. And I think, you know, acting is wonderful for that, because you get a chance to create, you get a chance to give yourself a voice on things you wouldn't normally have a voice on. You know, like for instance, in educating Rita, I was able to play out all my own problems about class and to question them and find out that I was angry about that kind of thing, about being deprived, partly coming from a working class family and not feeling good enough again, you know, and I was able to sort of examine it through educating Rita and find out some truths about it, about who I am and what it means to be working class and move to a middle class setup and to be in the world. And what did you ask me again? Anyway, I think it's time to move on because I'm almost boring myself now, and that's quite hard. Click on. I was once filmed by a naked cameraman. True or false? No, wrong. It was true. Click on to the other one if you want to know what it was about. Well, I was doing a film called She'll Be Wearing Pink Pyjamas. Not exactly a happy experience, apart from the fact there was a lovely cast. But anyway, we had this scene in it. It was set, you see, in an outward bound course for women. And I think it was for women. Oh, there was one poor man in it. Anyway, there was a scene in it where we had to have a shower. So we were all dreading this. You know, most people don't. Some actresses do quite like taking their clothes off, I suppose, but most don't. You know, most of us are sort of a bit worried. I was younger. It wasn't recently. Oh, God, I wouldn't get this out for anybody. Anyway, so we were dreading this, and we were all at the hotel. It was up in the Lake District. We were all at the hotel one night, and we were with the sound crew, actually. We were all having a drink. And one of the girls, it wasn't me, because people think I was the one who suggested it. It wasn't. It was one of the girls said, well, why don't we play a trick on them and say that Equity have said that everybody's got to take their clothes off. If the cast have to, then the crew have to. We said, oh, yeah, this sounds brilliant. Let's do this. So one of the girls rang her husband and asked him, who was an actor, and asked him if he would ring the production and say he was Peter Pluvier, who was the then Secretary of Equity at the Actors' Union, and asked him to pretend that this was the case, that, a new motion had been passed, pardon the phrase, and that people would have to take their clothes off. So no, the next day, the actor rang up and said, could he speak to, and the producer wasn't there, but a message was left for him saying that Peter Pluvier, Secretary of Equity, wanted to speak to him with this actor's phone number. So he rings up, and the actor said, yes, I can't remember the producer's name now, but he said, yes, let's say his name's John. Yes, John, yes, hi. Yeah, listen, John, I'm sorry to trouble you with this at such a late stage, and I know you've got to shoot a scene tomorrow where I believe a number of the actresses have to appear naked. He said, well, the Women's Committee have just passed a motion, I'm afraid, stating that if any members of the cast have to appear naked, then the same number of crew will have to do so. You do the same thing. He said, oh no, you can't. He said, I'm really sorry, John. But I've spoken to Alan Sapper, who was the sort of cruise, the cruise union man, and he's in agreement. So this producer, I think he was quite a new producer, was in absolute turmoil. So he went and told the other producer, and we turned up the next day. We didn't hear anything else, and then we turned up the next day to do the scene, and there was huge arguments going on the set. We could hear one of the producers saying, I'm not having a load of loony feminists ruining my film. All this was going on. And we were really scared. And we thought, oh, my God, this has got really serious. And then there were members of the crew trying to negotiate deals, trying to negotiate money to have their clothes taken off. And I'm sorry, nobody would have paid. But anyway, so we all had to get ready to go in. And the crew said, no, it's fine. In the end, people did. So there was the boom operator. Nothing on. Holding the boom, feeling very inadequate, holding the boom, and they're with the headphones on, and everybody except for the director, everyone, there were the sound boys, and there was someone from lighting in there, and the cameraman, and the only person who didn't was the director, and there's only one reason we can think that he didn't. Anyway, So then it finished. We finished shooting. It was a hoot. And then we didn't know what. We thought, we can't tell them. They were so angry, the producers. And eventually we did tell them. And we gave them some champagne. And they were all right about it in the end. But I tell you, it was in an Australian newspaper 24 hours later. That's how things get out. It was very good publicity for the film. But anyway, there we are. On! Time is money. I was only able to become an actress because my mother was so supportive in the early days. Do you think that's true? Well, you know nothing then, because it's not true. Please click to the other question if you want the proper answer. All of you people who have clicked this question are absolutely right. No, my mother wasn't very supportive. That's not why I became an actress. I became an actress because it was like a vocation. I was absolutely desperate to become an actress against my mother's wishes. And I was a nurse at the time, and this is what she had wanted me to do because it's what she had wanted to do and never did. And I was about halfway through it, and I thought, no, I can't stay here. I've got to do what I want to do. I remember sitting in the bath in our house in Birmingham, all steamed up and freezing bathroom, and saying to myself, I want to be an actress. It's the first time I'd ever said it, kind of had to voice it. And from then on, I sort of looked up drama in the telephone directory, which was really, really helpful. I got the British Drama League, and they said I should go to university. And I said, what, with 4 GCEs? And they said, oh, well, you can't go then, can you? I said, no, thanks, bye. Anyway, so they were no good. And anyway, I had a boyfriend at Manchester Polytechnic, and I decided, and he told me that they did drama there, and I decided that's what I was going to do. So I then gave in my notice, and I had to get my brothers and my father to stand in between me and my mother when I told her that I was going to be an actress. And she said, you'll be in the gutter before you're 20. And she was right. I was. It was very nice, actually. But she came round in the end, I have to say, to give her her due. She did come round in the end. As soon as she knew I'd got a pension, basically, she was fine. Because that was the big thing. But she has no pension. Didn't matter that I was working or anything. Anyway, but when my mum died, which was in 1989, we were, getting all her stuff together and everything. And I found this huge box of clippings. So she had really. But it was very touching and moving because she'd never said anything about it. She never really said that she was pleased with the way I'd done or anything like that. So that was kind of testament to it. There was one occasion, though, I remember walking along Bearwood Road, where I live back at home, and her shoving me across the pavement into a woman who was coming the other way. And she said, "Oh, hello, it's my daughter Julie. Yeah, she just finished filming Michael Caine." As if he was some sort of extra. And so there was a bit of a hint that she was proud of it a bit. But I think she was right, really, to be concerned. Because it's not an easy life in many ways. So, OK, that's it. Come on. It's enough of that. On with the next one. Come along. Move on. Thank you. Gordon Bennett. Lots of actors want to direct a movie. What about me? No, actually, clever arse. No, I don't want to collect. I'm going to start again. No, wrong, actually, clever arse. No, I don't want to direct a movie. Never have wanted to. I feel completely... In fact, I'm not going to finish this question here. Click on. Clever dick. Exactly. You folk, you know what you're talking about. No, I'd have never wanted to direct a film. I think I'd be far too paranoid. I mean, the amount of things that they're in charge of, directors, from almost the catering to, dramatic moments between actors. And people are constantly asking them questions about costumes and about lighting and about, no. Maybe a 5-minute film or something. Might quite like that. Yes? I finished. What are you waiting for? Click on. Click on.